What's going on, folks? This is Von Wolf, and welcome to the Wolf Bite, or Wolf Bites. I guess it kind of depends on which podcast you listen to, whether it be Southern Folk Saga or Weird Ways. And again, thank you, Herschel, for putting some of these out on Weird Ways, man. It is appreciated. First and foremost, if you haven't listened to one of these before, it's normally not safe for work. It's not that it's intentional, but I have the ability to be both inspiring and offensive in the same note. Secondly, I want to talk about why my podcasts are normally kind of either grouped up or spread out. See, just like anybody else, you know, life happens. There's life out there. There's things we do, things we live through, things we go through, whatever. And lately with me, which a lot of people do know, but if you don't know, there was a period of about 2 months that I lost my cousin who was murdered, my step-grandfather, and my stepdad. And I call him my stepdad because, you know, he was there since I was 5. I use the term dad, not father, but dad. You know, he chose to be there. We went through a lot of shit together. And that's been, you know, it's one of those things that, we all know it's going to happen, but we can't exactly prepare for the loss of someone that we were so close to, that we go through life with. So naturally, with that being said, you know, there's been a couple things I've been going through that I myself have to learn how to handle and how to cope with and what to do. But that's where I want to move this podcast into, is ourselves. You know, Asatru can be a lot of things to a lot of different people. It can be viewed differently from person to person that you talk to. Or it can be viewed the same, you know, however that would work out in the situation, wherever you are. But for me, Asatru, heathenry, it's all about who you are. What you're going to do, how you're going to get there, how the past makes up your present and how it develops your future. Everything from the physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, all those different aspects. To me, that is Asatru. It's who am I? And after, years of searching yourself, eventually you do find out who you are. You figure out where you're going, how you're going to get there, and what you'll have to do to get there. And see, some of the most recent conversations that I've had with a few different folks that inspired me to record this. First and foremost, I spoke a little bit to the couple from California, the ones who were trying to have a baby. They're trying to conceive a child, and of course, there's some medical issues there. Also, if you do look back on Southern Folk Saga's page, there should be a link in one of the posts that'll take you to their page to donate if you'd like. But also my mother. I was speaking to my mother yesterday, and that's a hard thing when someone like your mom or even your father has lost their spouse, them going through something. You know that you can't actually help them. There's nothing you can do to help them. And just like every other situation in life, that's something that's up to them, right? That's up to you. If you're experiencing it, it's up to you what you'll do with it. Now, I don't talk about a whole lot of stories or lore, so to speak, from the Eddas or whatnot. And it's not even that I know them all. It's just of course I don't have business talking about things that I don't know. But what I will say is that just the common sense stuff, as far as all these stories from the lore, from history in general, that makes up who we are. And it tells a very significant story about who we are. As it was pointed out to me, our ancestors went off into battle with very little chance. Very, very little, a very small percentage of chance of coming back alive. But they faced those battles without fear. I'm sure they had some kind of fear, but without that crippling fear that they would not be successful. they still went into it with very little chance of success. And, you know, it didn't stop them. The fear of failure did not stop them. The fear of death didn't stop them. That in itself should be inspiration and motivation enough just to push us forward in our daily lives. While we may not face those same things daily, or, you know, even on a time frame like they did, you know, we have our own problems, of course, but they're not, most of us don't face those same things, you know. There are going to be times where you feel like the world is absolutely against you. Everyone in the world is absolutely against you. And I've said this before. You know, even the people that you think, or that you think should be for you, are at some point going to be against you. They're not going to believe in you. They're not going to, you know, want something for you. They're, you know, it just happens. It's just human nature. All right, it happens. But those are the times when you have to remember what it is that makes you who you are. You have to dig deeper, push forward harder. You have to withstand the winds of this bullshit hurricane that people will throw at you. Because they will. Even when it becomes, let's say it comes to employment, right? I myself face some, to me, what is kind of scary. You know, we have a lot of people who are being let go, so to speak, who have been here for just a lifetime, basically. And there's something about that for me that might be different from others. And I'm not trying to set myself up on a pedestal. But again, you know, I'm a hostage true. I'm a heathen. I refuse to live in fear of success, you know. You give me the opportunity to be successful, I'm going to take it. And with that success always comes some kind of sacrifice. Anything that you want to be successful in is going to take sacrifice. It's going to take a lot out of you. You're going to have hard times. Those hard times will define you if you keep pushing forward. That's for sure. You'll learn about you. You want to learn about yourself? You're going to learn about yourself when you're suffering through something. But the thing is to keep a positive mindset, because you know what? As long as you're still alive, there is still opportunity to do something. I mean, that is it. And again, I know that I sound like one of these, was it motivational life speaking teachers or whatever the hell they're called. But, you know, this kind of stuff motivates me. So again, you know, I've been through a couple of different situations in my life where, you know, I've been homeless. I've been without food. I've been without anything that I thought would have been considered as some form of success. I've got this because I've had some form of success. I've been without all those things. I know what it's like. I also know that I don't want to go back there. And that drives me to push forward. To dig my toes a little bit deeper in that ground. It gives me this appetite. It's an appetite for success. And the funny thing is, I feel like it can't ever be fulfilled whenever I'm in these situations. It's like I'm greedy, you know, I want more. You know, again, you give me the opportunity to show my strength, to show my passion, to show and to prove all these different things that I talk about. Trust me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Trust me, I'm going to take that opportunity. You know, and the thing is, it is painful. You know, there's nothing like working 13 hours a day for 7-8 days straight. You know, it's exhausting. But there's this sense of accomplishment. Because, you know, I know that I can be pushed to those limits to dig deeper and, again, to go farther. And maybe I learned that from the military. You know, I'm not sure. But I know we all have it in us. Every last one of us have that drive It's about tapping into it. All right, folks. I am currently getting ready to walk into work, so y'all have a good one. Don't take it too easy. Go hard on it. Be hungry and conquer some shit. I mean, go out there and truly conquer some shit. And remember that, if you're not suffering through something, improving yourself to be more than what it is that you're suffering through, you're not doing it right. All right, folks, always remember, never be influenced, but always be inspired. As hard times hit, be inspired to be harder. All right, later.